Alrighty, we're here on Tuesday to recap another goofy and crazy week of college football, and eventually NFL. This was a wild week of games. Start off with Friday night, the game that I called. I had the sidecast call of. We need to scroll down a little more. Syracuse beats UNLV 44-41. LeQuint Allen had 4 total touchdowns. He was phenomenal. UNLV this was their debut in the poll this year, and possibly one of the first times they've ever been ranked. Syracuse ran damn near 100 plays. I think they ran, let's see, 63, 96 plays. 96 plays to UNLV's 50. UNLV's defense just couldn't get off the field. UNLV blocked 2 punts. They just couldn't get off the field at all to save their lives. And eventually we get to overtime, and what was a crazy game. Syracuse got up to a 14-0 lead. UNLV scored, actually maybe even gotten up to 17-0. Scored 21 unanswered. Syracuse came out fighting in the second half. We just had a great game. Fun to watch, and Syracuse goes to 4-1 and a very wide open ACC. Ohio State took care of business. Oregon took care of business. We're not going to talk too much about those games. Jeremiah Smith had another phenomenal one-handed catch. Dude's a freak. And the crazy one, and just the absolute crazy game of the week. We had 2 in the SEC. Just absurd. Vanderbilt wins 40-35 over Alabama. Vanderbilt came to play football today. Or this weekend. And they just punched Alabama in the mouth. Alabama was not ready to play. They made too many dumb mistakes. I only got to saw chunks of this game because it was on the same time as Ohio State. But they just came out, and Vandy came out and punched Bama in the mouth. And punched him in the mouth again. And punched him in the mouth again. And again. And it was just a repeated punching in the mouth. Milroe threw for 310, but he had the 1 interception. He also lost a fumble. Just like I said, too many mistakes. A couple too many mistakes for a team that, yes, on paper should be able to beat Vanderbilt. Should have beaten Vanderbilt. They just came off winning a game against Georgia, even with that being close. But the turnovers and the penalties say it all. Bama, 6 penalties for 57 yards. One of them was at the back end of the game. That meant nothing. At that point, unsportsmanlike conduct at the very end, and then the 2 turnovers, and Vanderbilt having possession for 42 minutes. Alabama couldn't get off the field. Vandy was able to just do what they wanted, and they just didn't make mistakes. They played a near perfect game. Kalen DeBoer, Bama's head coach, got out-coached by Vandy's head coach. I don't even know his name right off the top of my head. Just a pure masterclass from Vanderbilt and how what a team needs to do to pull off an upset like this. We talk about it so much throughout the college football season because you do get so many near upsets. I mean, you had on this same day near upset. I mean, there was a couple others on the same day, you had a near upset of Miami. Cal almost getting Miami. Cal made too many mistakes. A few weeks back, Kentucky nearly got Georgia. Kentucky made too many mistakes. Vanderbilt, just a pure masterclass on how you got to win these games and how you got to play them if you're this huge underdog. Moving on to the other big upset of the week. Arkansas hangs on to beat, Tennessee. I love how my allergies always flare up whenever I start this segment. Wow. Arkansas hangs on to beat Tennessee after scoring after a 9-point fourth quarter. Tennessee just didn't come to play at all. Tennessee was trailing at halftime 3-0. Their defense played good, but their offense just didn't get off the bus. As Arkansas just needed 3 field goals in the a field goal and a failed no 2-point conversion. Needed 9 points to win in this fourth quarter to win. They do hang on. Nico Amavia just didn't have a great game. 17 for 29, 158. And just like what else could you say? When you don't get off the bus, you're talking like 16 first downs to 23. Tennessee did have 10 penalties, and they didn't turn the ball over, but Arkansas played a really good, clean, mistake-free game, and Tennessee didn't show up. That's that. I don't even remember what I was doing that caused me to not watch this one. A couple head scratchers here. Georgia beat Auburn 31-13. I mean, that's the fact that Georgia won's not a head scratcher. It's just they didn't dominate Auburn. Penn State, they beat UCLA 27-11. That part's not the head scratcher part. The fact that Penn State just kind of didn't look good throughout most of this game. UCLA just made too many mistakes. Speaking of a team that made too many mistakes and just didn't get some help from the refs, refs did kind of favor Miami here at points. Cal cannot hold on. Miami avoids the upset narrowly with a 21-point fourth quarter. It will help with some reviews and a couple missed calls. Miami wins 39-38. This is one where Cal couldn't get off the field enough. 37 minutes time possession for Miami. Cal was just kind of stuck there in no man's land at points. Both of them turned the ball over once. Both had a decent bit of penalties. 9 for 110 for Miami and 6 for 43 for Cal, and they couldn't hold on. That's it. They did not play the perfect game that you needed to. I'm curious when this interception was. Please tell me it wasn't in the fourth quarter. It was. Yep. I've just figured. I mean, it was on the final bit of the drive. Moving on. Just too many mistakes. Not being able to get the defense off the field. Texas A&M, number 25 Texas A&M upsets Missouri. Blows Missouri out. 41-10. I don't have much to say on this. I think Missouri's just kind of falling back to what they used to be pre-last year. They had a great year last year, and this year they're kind of just... Washington beat Michigan 27-17. Washington came out, hit Michigan in the mouth. Michigan responded with 17 unanswered points. Looked like Michigan was going to roll, and then Alex Orji got benched in this game for Jack Tuttle, and then the wheels started to fall off. For Jack Tuttle, he sack, fumble, and then the interception as well. Just this Michigan team, the wheels fell off. This Michigan team just isn't good this year. There's at their quarterback position, especially, they're just so bad. Minnesota beats USC 24-17 after a 14-point fourth quarter. Surprising, yes, but on the same token, USC ain't good. Lincoln Riley just mismanaged this game, and he mismanaged so many others. Minnesota, USC is just, no, go away. I don't even know. Ecumenical seminarian? Eesh. USC's just, they're not good. Maybe we can finally have maybe finally people will stop realizing that USC's or start to realize USC's not good. Ole Miss beat South Carolina. They get back on the horse after a loss to Kentucky. South Carolina's not great. Ole Miss was just the better team. Clemson beat Florida State. Clemson just better team. Aston Ajanti, he crosses over the 1,000-yard mark. He's good. SMU upsets Louisville. This one kind of caught me off guard. This one kind of caught me off guard. That one turnover kind of just looks to be the play. SMU wasn't even on the field a lot. And they got more first downs, but they're on the field less time. I would assume just that one turnover. Let's see. When was the interception? End of the game, yeah. Yeah, I'll do it. There had to have been something else. I haven't seen much of this game. Honestly. I don't know, this is a weird one. I mean, Louisville's got some bad losses. Notre Dame, it's not a phenomenal team, then dropping to SMU. That's going to be it for a college recap. Let's get a quick preview. This week, couple big intriguing games. Friday the 11th, we have Utah at Arizona State. Utah's a 6.5-point favorite. They want to get a win after their kind of letdown against Arizona. Very important game in the Big 12 over there. 2 4-1 teams, both 1-1 in the conference. The big one. Ohio State takes on Oregon at Autzen. Buckeyes are a 3-point favorite. This one will be interesting. I don't really know what to say as an Ohio State fan. Oregon hasn't looked great. Ohio State's not really played anybody. They've been all right, but they've passed every test so far. The 3:30 game, big one. We got a couple big ones. Texas at Oklahoma. Or not Texas at Oklahoma. It's the Red River rivalry, neutral site, Texas and Oklahoma. This time for SEC play. Oklahoma hasn't been great. Quinn Ewers is going to be back. Texas is a 14.5-point favorite. This game could be fun. Glad this is at 3:30. And Ohio State's at 7:30. I'll be keeping an eye on this one too, because this could be intriguing as Penn State climbed into the top 4 for the AP poll. Penn State's only a 5.5 point favorite over USC. USC looking to get back on the horse after two disappointing losses. Well, not really two, because they did get the disappointing loss. Because I forgot they did have Wisconsin in between Michigan. Try and climb back to 500 in Big Ten play and 500 on the season. Penn State hasn't been great. They should be able to walk through this game, so to see what Penn State could do, or see if USC provides resistance in a game, will be very interesting. I think that's really it. Ole Miss LSU will be fun. Tennessee Florida could be interesting. Tennessee at 15.5 should be a big favorite, but should be able to roll. But Ole Miss LSU will be really interesting too. And that's really it. Let's get into the picks. I didn't have the picks ready, so. Okay. Not the right picks, right? I need to even I don't even have this fully ready. We are through 6 weeks. I'm sorry. Because we're here in week 7. CBS. I don't know what's wrong with CBS. Through week 6, going into week 7, we are 127-35. We still have yet to have a perfect week. We got 20 out of 27 last week. Getting 1, 2 in Louisville, BC, 3 in Bama, 4 in Tennessee, 5, 6 in USC, Michigan, and 7 in Duke. Getting those wrong. Let's make our picks for this week. Our sidecast, a game that kicks off in less than 2 hours. The Florida International University Panthers take on the Liberty Flames at Liberty. Give me the Flames. If CBS would stop breaking. Give me the Flames. There we go. Moving on to Thursday, because this is the fun thing. We're at that part of the year where we have football every single night, baby. Thursday, Coastal Carolina takes on James Madison. Both teams 4-1. I don't know who to pick here. People are on James Madison. Give me Coastal Carolina. Give me Maryland over Nebraska. I called a Nebraska game. Maryland's not good. Or I've called a Northwestern game. I mean, give me Maryland over Northwestern. Wrong colored in. Give me, I've covered a Northwestern game. They're not good. If you have $1 and you're in the Maryland area, spend your dollar elsewhere. That's interesting. Just had a screw fall off of my desk. Give me UNLV over Arizona, or Utah State. UNLV is a good team. Give me Utah over Arizona State. Give me Army as we're moving into Saturday. Over UAB to go to 6-0. Missouri bounce back game for them. They're going to go to 5-1 over a very bad UMass team. Clemson's going to beat a not very good Wake Forest team. Bounce back for Alabama. They're going to win. Rutgers coming off their first loss of the season to go to 5-1 over Wisconsin. Give me the Scarlet Knights. Give me Washington over Iowa. Now, I spent a couple hours, 3 hours on Saturday watching Iowa football. If Washington can stop the run, and they were able to mostly stop the run against Michigan, Washington will win this game. I think they could do it. Give me Washington over the Hawkeyes. Give me Bowling Green. Bowling Green's played teams tough. They're going to go to 3-3 over Northern Illinois, a team that really they're only like that win over Notre Dame is just starting to get weirder and weirder for Northern Illinois and harder to explain. But give me the Bowling Green Falcons. Notre Dame beats a Stanford team that's just all right. Pitt's going to beat Cal. Cal having the emotional letdown of not being able to get that win over Miami, or going to travel to Acrisure and just not be able to keep up. Give me Texas over Oklahoma with I believe Quinn Ewers is back. They say he's questionable on the injury report, but I've heard he's going to be back. If he isn't good to go, Arch Manning starting this game could be a little interesting because that Oklahoma defense is good. Give me Illinois over Purdue. Give me Penn State over USC. The spread's small. We talked about it a couple minutes ago. I don't know why. Give me Penn State to avoid a letdown. BYU over Arizona. I was confident in Arizona this year, but they're kind of falling back into what they were beforehand. Noah Fatifa and Tetairoa McMillan just can't get it done there. Give me BYU. Georgia over Mississippi State, they're bad. Tennessee is going to beat Florida. I unfortunately go Gators, but they ain't going to win. Ole Miss over LSU. This Ole Miss team is a better team. Lane Kiffin's a better coach than Brian Kelly. Give me Ole Miss to go to 5-1. OHIO over Oregon. Buckeyes will win this game. It'll be tight, but I think Ohio State will win it. Syracuse over NC State. Kyle McCord's going to keep this team rolling. NC State's not good. I wish I could pick West Virginia here. I don't have a lot of faith in either of these two teams. I'm going to have to go with Iowa State. They've been playing better this year. Minnesota over UCLA. Minnesota just they fought tooth and nail with a Michigan team. They just beat a USC team. That's both of those teams are better than UCLA. UCLA is just not good. And what could be a decisive game in the Big 12? I can't believe I'm saying that. K-State at Colorado. Both teams 4-1. Almost an elimination game for K-State. I believe because if I remember correctly, K-State's loss. Yeah, K-State is 1-1 in the Big 12. Their loss coming to BYU. Almost an elimination game for K-State. They're going to go into Folsom, right? Or Boulder. And beat Colorado. Boise State's going to run all over Hawaii. Ashton Jonty's going to have another 200-yard game. Give me them. Tiebreaker for how many points scored. We've not gotten this at all. Gotta go 56. Conservative. No. We're going to go 51. Conservative game. And those are your college picks.